What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So listen, I just wanted to hop on here real quick, because, again, I did say that I might come on here to discuss the third part of the Sister Wives reunion for season 17, and this really isn't going to be a long video because, to be honest, I don't even feel like that season needed a three-part reunion, or a tell-all or whatever, because basically what we all got out of it, or what I personally got out of it, is Kody was not ready to take responsibility or accountability for the failure of his relationship. Everybody else was, but he was not. When he was asked certain questions, as if the main question that everybody wanted to know and to get honest answer out, because when you go to a reunion, when you go to a tell-all or whatever, this is your chance to set the record straight. This is your chance to explain certain things, right? And so when Sukiana, is her name Sukiana or is it just Suki? Either way, I'm gonna call her Suki. No disrespect if I got your name wrong, ma'am. But I'm gonna tell you something. She did a good job and she was a better person than me, okay? This is what you call professionalism. This is literally what you call professionalism, because when I tell you the way that he was speaking to her, the way that he was speaking to her, the way that he was touching her, the way that he reaching at her, oh my God, it was just so disrespectful. And I just don't like when people talk down to other people, and especially when men talk down to women, okay? You have to, you want, and what made me so irritated about this, the way that he was treating the host. If you're treating the host this way, I can just imagine from outside of the stuff that we already seen on TV, when the cameras is down, the way that you're treating your wives, okay? And the people that you're around, your kids and all this stuff. Because why are you talking down to this lady? Why are you basically shutting her down or giving her attitude and all this other stuff, and, raising your voice a little bit? I just didn't like that. I did not like that at all, and it was not needed at all. And it goes to show, you talking so much about, oh, I want respect, and I would rather have respect and be loved and all this stuff or whatever, but yet you can't respect another person. So therefore, if you feel like your wives don't respect you, I can see exactly why you feel that way, because you don't respect them. You want respect, you have to give respect. You want something, you have to give it. It's a give and take type of situation. And you're in a relationship, it's 50-50 most of the time. And now you done got 5 people in this relationship, and you expect everything to be on your court. You expect everyone to be on your page and to do exactly what it is that you want them to do. And you don't care for what anybody else does. You really don't care for anybody else. And I just wish he would have just been honest about that. Because Suki had asked him, is Robin your favorite wife? He said, why would you ask me an unfair question, a type of question like that? He got real offended by that. And I'm sitting here like, what you get offended for? We've already known it. You keep displaying it. And you keep using the whole situation about, well, it was COVID that was going through, that was going on. And, she was the only one that was complying with my rules and all this stuff or whatever. And then for Robert to say, they just gave them to me. They gave him to me. They didn't want to put up with him, so they gave him to me. And I'm sitting here like, what? And you as a woman, even if that was to have went down, which I don't feel, if that was have went down, that they just pushed him off on you because they didn't want to deal with him doing all this thing or whatever, how come you didn't tell him, or at least make it clear that you told him that you need to be out there being equal with your kids and being equal with your wives or whatever, giving them attention regardless of how they feel? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the situation is. And I understand trying to be, safe with what was going on, And granted, when he said, how would you think I feel if one of the older kids came home and got one of the younger kids sick and they died from this? How would they feel? And I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness, like you putting that on them like that just because they didn't want to go by your strict rules. And again, I get it. I get it, because when this whole pandemic first came about and I started seeing everything that was going on, it freaked me out. It freaked me out so bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be around nobody. I got it. But I had to be around people to a certain extent. And I just made sure I was protected and did what I had to do, you know. Um, and he still wound up catching it. He still wound up catching it because one of the people in Robin's home brought it into the home. Not one of the older kids that was outside the home or, you know, somebody else. Even though a couple of them did get it, but they didn't spread it to, you know, the young kids or whatever. It was one of the people, one of the kids that was probably the older kid or whatever that was at school or whatever who got it and then, you know, got it to the other kids or whatever, everybody else. So it was just, it was like you're guilt tripping them. You're trying to put all this stuff on your kids and blame other people. And he just can't see that, yes, I understand, and your family did understand that you was trying to take care of them. You was trying to protect them in the sense that you did not want them to get sick from this what was going on, this virus or whatever. And so you just went overboard, and because of that, you neglected your wives, you neglected your kids just because they wouldn't comply with every single rule. And I get it to a certain extent, but those still are your kids. You still didn't have no communication with them. I just don't understand having kids and they're in a proximity of you and you not wanting to go see them. Like, even if you wasn't here for the wives, your kids who still need you. You know, we heard him say in the season that, you know, the older kids don't need him like the younger kids do. So he really, and the way he said it was like he really just don't care too much about the older kids these days because they don't really need him. And in actuality, no matter how old you are, you need your parents. You need your parents, okay? And for him to say that, it was just really to me, you know. And then for Robin to basically say, you know, they had a relationship that they didn't work with it. They basically was like, they fucked their own shit up. She was basically blaming them, blaming, you know, Janelle and blaming Christine and possibly even, well, I ain't even gonna say Meri because, you know, what he went over there for? Nothing. They ain't even kicking it like that. So there's that. But, and we'll get to her in a second. Basically saying y'all had this thing with him that y'all messed up. Y'all did that. Y'all did that. And I was like, oh my goodness. It was just the way, like, Robin got real bold in this third part. She got real bold and she was just putting it all out there. And I'm sitting here like, you as a woman and a mother, seeing the way that he's acting towards his children, his older children, and then to constantly, like, this is what made me mad about him was when he kept blaming, you know, Christine for, I guess, the way some of the older kids was feeling, as if she was literally going around telling everybody, oh, don't mess with Kody because Kody ain't shit. Kody ain't this, he ain't that, or whatever, and you should feel, you should feel some type of way about him because he ain't that dude or whatever. He's a horrible person and all that stuff and woo, 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 woo. And I'm sitting here like, no. She probably expressed her grievances and her issues with her daughter about you, her older daughter, and probably another person. But other than that, I do not feel like Christine was going around just trash talking him and trying to, you know, sway their minds, the kids' minds away from it. And then that half-ass apology that he gave to the kids, Garrison and Gabriel, I think, you know, and I'm just sitting here like, I wouldn't accept that because you had to wait till you get onto a tell-all in front of cameras to be told that you should apologize or whatever, to somewhat apologize to me through a camera and not even to me personally, like pick up the phone, text message me or whatever, you know, do some type of way to get out there to me instead of doing it in front of the camera. You couldn't do that on your own because you still up here blaming Janelle. You're still up here blaming Christine for the reason why these kids don't want to have a relationship with you. And from what I heard, people say that he's worse off when the cameras are not rolling. You know what I'm saying? This is the nice him that we're getting when the cameras is rolling. And I said that's kind of crazy if it is. That's messed up. And this is what happens when you try to put on an image. Everybody is not meant for TV, not meant for reality TV. And that's what people don't realize. Like, y'all get on these cameras and I'm not going to say reality TV breaks up family. It just brings out the actual issues that's been going on that y'all trying to hide. And whatever it is that you do with it, that's what happens, okay? And it brought out all the issues because y'all came on this show, at least Kody, you did, trying to make it seem like y'all was this oh, polygamy is so good and this is the good parts of it and it's so great and we're about this and we're about that and we're about unity and all this stuff and blah blah blah, and they're trying to attack us because we like to be together and all this stuff and woo woo woo. And then all of a sudden that facade starts to break, okay, and it finally starts to get actually real, and we see the real shit that's been going on, you know, the drama behind the scene, the real Browns. That's what it is. And we see how much of an asshole and a jerk that Kody is. We see how much of a pushover Meri is. We see how much of a submissive person, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but Robin will literally do anything that man says. Anything that man says. And I just didn't understand why he got in his feelings when he was told that Christine said that Robin was his soulmate. Basically, that's how you're acting. You only get along with her because she does what you say do, and y'all damn near think alike. And you get in your feelings because she said that. It was just really irritating. Every time he opened up his mouth, every time he looked at the camera, every time his hair, you know, I just want him to cut it. I want him to cut it. It's time. It's been time. You're getting older. You're losing your I get it. You're trying to cover up the bald spots or whatever, but you're bringing more attention to it, to me, if you ask me. And then when it comes to Janelle, you know, just talking, like trash talking, he's the victim. He's the victim in all these relationships. He's the victim in all these relationships when they go wrong. He's the true victim. That's how he comes off, and that is not what it is. And we've seen it. We've literally seen it. We haven't seen what goes on behind the scenes, but we've seen what was being presented to us on our TV screens or wherever we looked at this at. And we see how you talk to these women. We see how you treat these women. And you treat them more like property. You treat them more like, oh, this is a pet that I have to train. Because that's what Robin is to you. Robin is your pet that you have trained really well. Okay? She comes to your every barking call, you know. And so that's you opened your family up to, and I'm pretty sure it was his idea to go ahead and do this show, and I feel like this show should have got canceled before it got this far. And I felt like they probably, mostly him, decided to keep on with this show because money. The family was getting bigger. Times was hard probably, you know, and they needed the money for all of this stuff that he wanted to do that never really got done. I'm so glad Janelle called out Robin. I'm so glad Janelle called out the whole situation about the money issue. You know, she trying to get a house and it's such an issue for her to get her place or whatever. But yet we spend money on Mary's or Christine's house, and then we spend a whole bunch of money on Robin's house. But then it's an issue for me and everybody else, and it's just, you know, this double, triple standards and all this stuff that's going on, the hypocrisy, the contradiction, it was just a lot, you know. I'm just glad that, you know, Janelle knows her worth, but Janelle kind of irked me a little bit because she was still depending on that religion type of situation. And I get it. A lot of people are very heavily into their religion, and they want to, you know, it's something sometimes that it's hard to get out of, that indoctrination to get out of. But she was like, you know, technically she's still with Kody, but it's a possibility that they could possibly get back together, but she's just not looking forward to that right now. That's not what she's thinking about, because they've been separated for a while. She's been happy, you know. She says it's not love there anymore. Like, she's not in love with that man. I don't even know if she loves him. She probably do still love him as a friend or something like that, but as a mate, no. And I'm just sitting here like, let it go. Ain't no thinking about, just be honest and say you don't want that man and you don't want to come back, okay? And he up here talking about something, he trying to fight for her. He's going to fight for her. He wants them to come back, and, you know, he want to make it work. And, you know, you just said all this negative stuff, and you up here want to say that you want to fight for her? You blaming her for stuff. You can't take accountability for your part and your role in the breakdown of your relationship, but you want her back? No, it ain't even that. It ain't even that. And so you want to blame Christine because you didn't take her seriously about the fact that she was going through some things, and she was telling you exactly what it is that she wanted, exactly what it is that she needed. She wasn't beating around the bush. You just didn't take her seriously because you don't take women seriously. You know, it's very misogynistic. A lot of these religions, you know, That's what it is, and that's what he's been indoctrinated with. And so, therefore, what he says goes. He's the head of the household, and it is what it is. So, regardless of how you feel, I really don't care. I hear you, but I don't really care that much. So, when stuff goes awry and all of a sudden you want to leave, oh, it's her fault. She didn't do this, and she was always getting into it with the sister wives, and she didn't try this, and this is not what I signed up for, and all this stuff. And then when Robin said they took the sister wives type of situation away from her because Christine left and all this stuff, I said, girl, shut your mouth. You are pathetic. You are really pathetic. Like, lady, can you stand up on your own? Can you stand up on your own and see, what it is also, which is kind of different from Robin, which I am so surprised. But with Meri, Janelle, and Christine, he got them when they were young. Almost like a grooming type of situation. Do you realize that? It kind of feel that way, But then Robin, you came in and you was divorced before. You had a relationship before, and now it's such a bad thing that Christine wants to leave, and then y'all getting a divorce and all this stuff. But you have a divorce on your record, unless you wasn't married to the guy who you had your kids by, that weren't Kody's, that he adopted. Okay, if that's what you want to say. But the whole situation with Meri. So it came out today. It was a joint statement that she put on her Instagram, and I'm pretty sure he probably put on his Instagram, basically saying that they are no longer together, they're divorced or getting a divorce and all that stuff, and they still want to have privacy. And Meri want to put up in there, she don't really want people to talk mess about him and all. I was like, girl, don't nobody care. Let me tell you something, Meri. You are one of the least favorite. I feel like Kody is the least favorite, and then Robin is the second least favorite, and you're the third least favorite. Like, so people really don't give a care. Or you and Robin probably can share the same spot, but you three, no one likes y'all like that. And if you do have people that support y'all, good for you. I'm surprised, but at the end of the day, there's a lot more people that do not agree with a lot of things that y'all do in the way that y'all move, and when it comes to Meri, I honestly feel like that situation with the catfish situation, I feel like, she was about to step out on him anyway. Because why are you talking to some man online that's not your husband, and you giving him all these details and all this stuff, kind of find out it was a woman. And truth be told, I don't know. Part of me kind of felt like she kind of knew that it was a woman and she still was talking to her. She probably had a little thing. I don't know. I think that about a lot of people sometimes, because sometimes people be moving funny and I just be like, girl, what? But anyway, I was just like, Meri, go ahead and go. We've been telling you this. It took for you to see on the tell-all that this man literally said this season that if you were to leave, he just really wouldn't care. If you was to get with somebody else, he wouldn't care. But, in the way that he didn't get upset with you leaving or possibly going away or whatever, the way that he did with Christine, the way that he's trying to work it out with Janelle. Like, girl, I never thought, honestly, I'm going to be surprised. I'm going to tell you, I was surprised that the statement came out that said that it was Meri that was leaving. I thought it was going to be a statement coming out saying that Janelle is officially done, and not just separated, but done, but... And I guaranteed you, why do I have this feeling that Meri isn't the one that said, I'm done? It was Kody. Because Meri will give off that tease that I literally want to stay regardless because I want this unit. This is the family that I grew up with. Granted, and again, it felt like grooming because this is all they ever known. So that's probably one of the reasons why Meri decided to stay even if she wasn't in an actual relationship with him. And technically speaking, you're not married to him because you divorced this man. See, let me tell you something. This is where Meri went wrong with me. Meri was the one that was actually legally married to Kody, right? She legally got divorced so that he can marry Robin, so he can adopt her kids or something like that. You got me all the way messed up. You got me all the way messed up. I said, Meri, why would you do that? Why would you do that? But when you love somebody, I guess that's what it is, you know. And I feel like she was like head over. I don't know if she was truly in love with him, but she loved him. Because ain't no way in hell I'm finna stick around. Either that or she was just scared to go out on her own because she been with him since she was so young, you know? And when I say young, I don't care if it was 19, 20, 21, baby, that's young, okay? That's your development years as an adult, you know. So y'all becoming adults with each other. And see, that's the only man that you known in that way. That's the only type of love that you known in that way. So, uh, it's about time though. It is about time. Um, I'm not gonna be extra negative about her. The attitude that she was giving Christine, only for her to just say that, only for you to do the same thing. Only for you to do the same thing. Like, what? When you want privacy, you want all this stuff, you want people to be nice and all that stuff or whatever, but yeah, you didn't give Christine that same type of energy. But you want us to do that for you? Like, girl, all right. But I'm not one of those ones that's gonna beat a person down while they're already down. You know, it is what it is. It didn't work out. I do hope that she finds herself. I don't want her to try to go look for another relationship at this moment. I want Meri to stick with herself and get to know her. I want her to go and spend time with her daughter. That's what I want her to do. And let her daughter help her through this process as well. And honestly, what I really wanted to see, I wanted to see one of the parts to be about the kids. That's what they should have did. The third part, if they was going to do a three-parter like they did, the first two parts, they could have got all of this stuff that we didn't spread out unnecessarily in three parts with the adults, the parents, the wives, and all that stuff. What we needed was a part that was about the kids. And I see that, I know that's probably like a little far-fetched or whatever, because they just didn't want to be involved. A lot of the kids, especially the older kids, they were not on the show, so I get it, but I would really like to know what they have to say about all of this. And I really wish they would have pressed him more, especially about seeing, and they should have played the scene. I'm so mad they didn't, unless I missed it. They should have played that scene when Gabriel was talking about when he got the phone call from Kody on his birthday, but Kody was asking him about how did he, deal with the symptoms of the vid, Miss Girl, and didn't even acknowledge his birthday. And it took him hours before he realized that that was his birthday, and he tried to call back, and he didn't. And the way that Gabriel, I'm thinking it is Gabriel, I hope I'm saying the right one, the one that just broke down, and while he was talking about it, he just broke down, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt so bad for him. Like, when he broke down, I literally cried too. I'm not even exaggerating. I cried too, because I put myself in that same position. I was in that same position, you know what I'm saying? To have a parent that you want to be close to, or you wanted to develop something with, and or to have somebody that you did have a closeness to, and then to lose that's crazy. That's hurtful, you know? And, I think that was around the time when I was going through the situation with my mother, and we really wasn't talking the way that we needed to. And then, I don't even talk to my dad, and he didn't acknowledge my birthday last year, but surprisingly, he actually texted me before my mama. He texted me before my mama did, for my birthday on Saturday. He texted me in the morning. I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't, and it threw me off so bad because I wasn't expecting it. And I just did not know how to respond to it. So I didn't even respond right away. I just said thank you like an hour or so later. That's it. That's all I could do. And I didn't say anything else. And it is such a shame that you have people out here that don't know what to say to each other. Your parents and your children, mother and daughter, and mother and son, and dad and daughter, and dad and son, and you don't know what to say to each other. And Kody just don't understand and see how his kids are just really crying out for him. and he just don't see himself doing anything wrong. The whole situation of they needed to apologize to him and then apologize to Robin. Like what? The way Janelle was getting into Robin's ass, became my favorite. I never disliked her or liked her like that, but baby, these last couple of seasons, oh, Janelle became one of my faves on this show, for real, okay? Like, yeah, she did that. But that was the tell all or whatever, and then the whole situation with Meri. Also, TLC, let me tell y'all something. TLC, I don't know who be in the back and behind the scenes and who be up in the boardroom in the idea room coming up with these ideas to do for shows or whatever. But I'm gonna say thank you, because most of y'all shows is really good. Excuse me. Most of y'all shows are really good, okay? And they got another one, girl. They got another one. And I don't know if I'm going to review it, but I'm definitely probably going to talk about it. I'm probably going to pop in and out and talk about it. Let it build up a little bit so I can just give y'all a big video about it or whatever. Depending on how good it is, I can, because you know, TLC shows, they seasons be like goddamn 27 8 episodes, okay? I don't need all that. I don't need all that. Give me a good maybe 15, possibly 12, you know, and we good. But baby, they got a new show coming out, and it's called Seeking Brother Husband. Oh my God. And y'all already know, because if you've been watching any of my discussions on this show, whether it's been Sister Wives or Seeking Sister Wives, the show, oh my God, I will never get over the ending of Seeking Sister Wives last season. When Garrett, oh girl, what's her name? What was her name? Oh my God, I can't remember her name, but she a G. She scammed the life out of them. And I didn't even feel bad. I said, girl, I said, now that's kind of wrong. That's wrong, because you wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. But they were weird. They were weird. And they just gave me off this weird feeling like if they would have got that girl over here to America, baby, they probably would have had her down in the goddamn basement chained up. Okay, I don't know. That's what they was giving me. You know, they was doing a lot, especially when that black girl was trying to beat their other wife too. They was courting her. I said, girl, get out. You saw the movie. Please get out. Okay? But no, it's called Seeking Brother Husband. Somebody tagged me in that on Instagram, and I saw that trailer. And you want to know what caught me right off the bat? Black folks. Black folks. I said, hold up, baby, we don't do this. Or at least I don't see people doing this in reverse. You know, I don't know what it is. It's a fascination with men having multiple women or whatever, and especially like, because I'm black, so therefore I see more black people. So that's where I speak from. I see a lot of black people that do want to do that. Men want to have multiple, you know, women or whatever. That gives me like pimp vibes and all that shit or whatever. But it was a woman. So basically, I forget the name that they're calling it. They call it. Let me look it up. I said this one gonna be. Well, I didn't talk long about Sister Wives or whatever, but this is Seeking. What is it? When a woman. Oh, that ain't how you spell it. Oh. When a woman has two husbands. Polyandry. That's what it's called. Marriage of a woman to two or more men at the same time. Terms derived from the Greek polys, which means many, and andros, which means man. When the husband is in a yeah, they're brothers. When they're in this polyandry relationship, they're brothers. So therefore, that's what I call seeking a brother husband. Okay, and it was too black. It was a lot of black people on here. It was a good mixture. I like it already. And I think that from that little clip, it is gonna be a mess. You know, I just want to see the three black, the black lady. They got the two black husbands, and then I definitely want to see the white guy who wife is getting a black husband. was like, so you know, this is the first time I let my wife you know, have another husband or another man in her life. And you know, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I'm just looking at my wife falling in love with this man. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but baby, I am going to be glued to the TV, glued to my phone watching this stuff, okay? Baby, oh, just be prepared for the tweets, okay? I am definitely watching that because I actually did like Seeking Sister Wives, because and that's what I used to say. And all of the times that I talked about this show, like, what with polygamy, like, it was more so for the men. It's the benefit of the men. And then one of the ladies on there gonna say, I know people always think it's just about sex or whatever, but it's not. It's not. It's more than that. What is it? What is it? Y'all have yet to tell me what it is that I can actually understand. Because, baby, all I see is, you know, maybe a protector. And then, girl, am I breaking up with something? Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, anyway, fuck that. But yeah, I will be watching. I don't know when it's coming on, and if you got the date, to put it down in the comments so I can put it up in my calendar. But anyway, why did I make that sound? I don't know why this is so funny, because I kept on saying, how come we don't see nothing with the women having two husbands or whatever? How would you feel about that? And now it's like TLC was like, girl, bet, I got you. Here you go. Bam. Now I want to hear what you got to say. Girl, we going to be in that thing, okay? But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.